As time progressed and they worked their way through people, the beatings got more severe. At one point, a metal bar was used. They were tying their feet and elevating them and then beating the soles of their feet.
Kevin alerted his unit and troops arrived to stop the torture. But after an hour, US headquarters ordered them to withdraw. Most prisoners were later transferred to proper jails, but not before they were beaten again.
When we returned to the patrol base, there was a general order, a generalized order not to speak of the incident.
Since then, those kind of incidents have simply got worse. Our Iraqi colleague has tracked down a woman who witnessed the death squads in action last July. Her family is now in hiding in a school because they're so scared of reprisals. Fatima saw the police setting up roadblocks in the mixed jihad area. Masked gunmen then checked people's ID cards, and those with Sunni names were executed on the spot.
Yes, there were policemen there, but they didn't have any authority. I saw them watching while the militias were killing people, but they didn't do anything. It was like a horror film.
Last year, her husband died in a car bomb left by Sunni insurgents. Now Shia death squads have driven them from their home. It shows how little the Americans really control the security situation. A key ally of Muqtada is the health minister, and so many of Muqtada's men, his Mahdi army, are officially employed to guard the hospitals. They've become very dangerous places. One of the videos we were given showed what happened to 10 Sunnis who visited a relative in hospital. The police locked them in a freight container.
There was no air at all. Everyone was begging everyone else not to breathe too much. Then we all began to lose consciousness and I blacked out. I only woke up that night when someone splashed water on my face. We were all rushed to Al Yarmouk hospital, but all the others were already dead. Only I was still alive, thanks to God.
We've been in touch with an Iraqi doctors' organisation to see if they can find anyone who'll talk to us about what's happening in the hospitals. And we've just had 2 heartbreaking emails back. The first is from a doctor who says he can't take the risk because he's got 2 young children. And I'm going to read you what he goes on to say. He says, "I never in my life felt so frightened. I'm writing to you crying with tears. They've gone on a wild rampage now, killing doctors. A professor, a good colleague, was killed yesterday. Only a week ago, another consultant was kidnapped from the car park, not far from the hospital guards, tortured and killed." And another doctor, a woman, wrote to us, "Thanks for this great offer to unveil the truth, but I can't take this risk. These religious fanatics are killing and driving the educated people out of the country, so it will be easier to be controlled. All women professors in Baghdad Medical College have been threatened to leave the country or they would be killed." This is the one issue doctors are terrified to talk about. Eventually, we find someone who's still too scared to be identified. He described how Muqtada followers ran his hospital.
يعني عند اللحظة إن كان دخل مثلا مريض أو مجروح من منطقة معينة.
If an ill or wounded person comes into hospital from a given region, depending on their identity card, they're kidnapped with the aid of the hospital guards and taken away. Later their body is found dumped on a rubbish tip somewhere.
ودخلت إلى طوارئ أحد المستشفيات يعني اللي معروفة بهذا العمل.
Once there was an older ill woman. She had either high blood pressure or diabetes. She was rushed into the hospital, which was well known for treating these things. In the ER, once it became known she was someone's wife, a sheikh who headed a tribe, a member of the hospital guards killed her on the spot. In another incident, two brothers with typically Sunni names walked into the hospital. They were both killed in the ER. This incident made not just Sunni, but also Shia doctors actually run away.
We wanted to put all these allegations to Muqtada al-Sadr, but he doesn't speak to Western journalists. His spokesman is Baha al-Araji, and he has a standard answer to all the allegations about the Mahdi army, the Jaish al-Mahdi. Sunni families are being told by the Jaish al-Mahdi, you must leave your homes, and unless you do so, you will be killed. Why is that happening?
Many gangs and groups are working for foreign intelligence agencies in Iraq, and they try to blame it on the Mahdi army, which is false and has no basis.
But the stories are absolutely consistent. Every single day we hear it is the Jaish al-Mahdi. They kidnap people, they torture people, they kill people, they say to people, they tell people who they are, they turn up in uniforms, they turn up with their guns. There's no question that they are the Jaish al-Mahdi doing this.
The fact that they wear uniforms doesn't mean they are the Mahdi army. Everyone knows that criminals don't reveal their true identity.
Next week, the UN will announce how many Iraqi civilians were killed in the last 2 months. No one expects things will have got any better. October was also the worst month for American casualties in 2 years, and that's only increased the pressure on George Bush to pull the troops out. But the price for an early withdrawal is leaving the future of Iraq to be shaped by those who put religious division above national unity. It would mean those who stand accused of supporting and running the death squads would then be running Iraq.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا أخ عبد الكريم من العراق، تفضل.
تحية لك أخي الفاضل وتحية للشيخ الزغبي محمد اسمحوا لي أنا بصراحة يعني منذ زمن أحاول أن أتصل بكم ولا أستطيع، والآن قدر الله عز وجل. يا إخوة
تفضل.
أنا من بغداد.
نعم.
أناديكم من بغداد، من ذا أصابك يا بغداد بالعين؟ ألست قد كنت يوما قرة العين؟
الله أكبر.
أنا أناديكم من العراق يا خليلي، هل في مصر عين حزينة تبكي على بغداد لعلي أعينها؟ يا شيخ محمد أنا كنت معتقلا عند آلاف من أهل السنة رجالا ونساء، وحملوني أمانة، قالوا لو نفد من أهل الإسلام من ينصرنا استنجد بروسيا، استنجد بأي إنسان ينقذنا. حملت نساؤنا سفاحا في السجون، قتل أهل السنة ومحمدا ونبيا، حرقت اللحى يا شيخ، وضع في أدبار الشيوخ. طلب مني أن أحكي نكتة على أمي عائشة وعلى أبي بكر، فأبيت فبصقوا في وجهي، فوضعوا النجاسة على لحيتي. انقذوا أهل السنة ومحمدا ونبيا وإسلاما. حملت نساؤنا سفاحا حملت انقذوا أهل السنة، انقذوا أطفال أهل السنة. جعلونا في الشوارع، حرقونا لأنس في عمر وبكر وعثمان وبهادلنا من أصحاب رسول الله ونحن في السجون. قالوا احكي لنا نكتة عن عائشة، قلنا لا، فقطعوا أصابعنا وقلعوا أظافرنا. يا شيخ إني أحملك أمانة، اللهم اشهد إني بلغت. رأيت فتاة تغتصب وتقول والله أنا باكر، والله أنا حافظة القرآن، ثم قالت تنادي من يذهب إلى رسول الله ويقول عز الرجال عز الرجال. عرض رسول الله ينتهك يا شيخ. اسمع، بلغتك وأنا لا زالت أعراض الحرق على مكان حتى في جسمي، لأني فقط ابني اسمه عمر وبنت اسمها عائشة. لقد حرقوا طفلا في الفرن ووضعوا عليه البصل لأن اسمه عمر، عمره 3 سنوات، وقدموه لأبيه. ماذا؟ اللهم اشهد، اللهم انقذنا. هل من مغيث؟ أما من معتصم يغيث؟ أما من ابن تيمية أو
أريد أن أثبت أن عائشة بنت أبي بكر اليوم في النار في النار في النار، بل هي في قعر جهنم. رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله كثيرا ما كان يحذر عائشة من سلاطة لسانها. للعلم عائشة كان لسانها قذرا فحاشا سبابا إلى أقصى درجة. كانت امرأة قليلة أدب تسب على المليان.
جملت تبغلت ولو يا بنت شيخ الضلال، يا بنت شيخ الضلال، عالجمل بين الرجال من تخيرت القتال. حاربين اظهر وليد حاربين، الباري يلعن والأنام، الباري يلعن والأنام، كل من ضد الإمام لا هب ودع ولا حرام. لعن من خالف عليه، لعن من خالف عليه، بلا تجاوز للخطوط، لا تجاوز للخطوط. ضد علي اختار السقوط، ذكرك بامرأة لوط، ذكرك بامرأة لوط، ذكرك بامرأة لوط. والمثل واضح جليه، والمثل ايه والمثل واضح جليه.
ذاك يا عائشة المجوني، يا من رضعت الغدر من ثدي خؤوني. تبت يداك وكل من شرب الخنا من منبع الأقذار والحقد النتوني. فالإفك في دين الحميرة قربة والقذف نافلة لدى أهل المجون. يا قاذفة الأعراض إنك فاحشة ودليل فحشك في النصوص والمتون. إن مر موضوع الحميرة فارمها في مقعد المرحاض ولتسحب سفوني.
روايات أهل البيت نصت على أن المرأة التي سمت رسول الله هي عائشة بنت أبي بكر، لعنها الله لعنها الله لعنها الله. فاستشهد مسموما مغتالا قتيلا مظلوما.
إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا. من